It took a week and a half of travel before the gang reached Fuchsia City. Looking around, Ash found it had the most traditional Cantonian aesthetic around. Palatown looked positively futuristic next to the sliding doors and sloped design of the roofs. It reminded him of a show about ninjas he saw when he was young. Made sense. According to Brock, the Fuchsia City gym leader Koga was a ninja, which was awesome. Way cooler than magicians. Sabrina. Ash vibrated with excitement though. Finally, he was here for his next badge, and he'd get to see Green fight too. He hadn't seen her fight much since her first battle, so he was eager to see how strong she was. The path to the gym took them through the woods until they reached a positively massive home. Yeah, Ash could see ninjas living here. Their approach was immediately caught, as by the door was a young girl around his age with purple hair. She was dressed just like the ninjas on TV. She greets them, introducing herself as Janine. What did they want? Before Ash could talk, Green jumped in. She and Red were here for gym battles! Janine looked them over, face impassive, before letting them in. Her father, Koga, is quite busy right now with the upcoming tournament plans, but she supposes he has time for a battle or two. If all four of them want to fight, though, two of them will definitely have to wait. Brock says he nor Giselle were here for a fight. In fact, they were actually going to take off. Ash was surprised. Usually they stuck around to see him battle. Giselle says with the upcoming tournament, they want to get as much training time in as possible. Ash said that was fine. They better be ready. He's about to win that entire thing. Janine smirked. He sure was confident. Being led through the house, they eventually reached the battlefield. It was indoors, but the walls weren't made of the sturdy stone to withstand attacks that Ash usually saw. Instead, they were wooden like the rest of the building. Ash wasn't planning to use her, but mentally checked Ninetales off his list of usable Pokemon. She exploded at the slightest bit of anger. Last thing he needed was her burning the gym to the ground. How could he get a badge if the gym burned down? Koga stood on one side of the room talking to a woman dressed in a pink ninja uniform. She held a checklist in her hand as she rattled things off to Koga. And lastly, the prize Pokemon is doing well and will be ready for when we start. Do you think you can make sure the field is secure? Koga nodded. He already has league assistants coming to help minimize damage. Thank you, Aya. The woman, Aya, nodded before noticing them. It appears they have guests. Koga looks at them. Janine introduces Red and Green, both here for a gym battle. Ash was about to correct her, but Green stepped forward, declaring her intent to win her next badge. Koga's mouth twitched with a smile. She was an enthusiastic one. That was fine. He could fit 2 battles into his schedule. Aya, please go take care of any outstanding issues. I'll tend to the battlefield after. Aya nodded, vanishing before them in a puff of smoke. Green and Ash's eyes sparkled. Ninja magic! Janine pouted. Father, when will she be able to learn that technique? Koga told her when she was older. To move at such high speeds that you appear to vanish is an art that requires years of dedication and is hard on the body. She's still young after all. Janine grumbled something but didn't rebuttal. Koga focused in on the duo. Which of you will face me first? Ash didn't bother. Green was going to explode if she had to wait. Koga asked Janine to referee. Rather than take her place in the middle, a string shot fired from behind her, pulling her towards the rafters above. Ash squinted. He didn't even see the Pokemon on her use that. Ninja magic. Green and Koga took their places. He declares it will be a 2v2. He has to make sure he has Pokemon for young Red after all. Actually, my name is Ash was cut off as Koga brought out a Muck. Green cheered, bringing out her Kingler. The battle begins! To Ash's surprise, Kingler was surprisingly quick with how it scuttled. Moving forward was hard, but side to side it was very fast. Muck shot forth sludge that Kingler dodged. Green ordered a Crab Hammer! Water swirled around Kingler's giant claw and it moved forward to slam it down. To Ash's surprise, rather than dodge, Muck relaxed, taking the attack. Like slapping a hand into wet sand, Kingler's attack didn't appear to do much. Rather than be surprised, Green's grin grew. She yelled for guillotine! With his other claws, Kingler slashed through Muck. It was a clean strike straight through it, but Muck's body reconstituted quickly. He'd faced a Muck before, but Ash was glad he didn't have to fight this thing. The ability to tank physical blows like that was a pain. Green didn't think so, though. Koga called for Giga Drain. Kingler cried out as its energy was sucked out. Muck was beginning to move, engulfing it from the claw up. Green thought fast, though. She yelled at Kingler to throw it! Using surprising strength, Kingler threw Muck, splattering him against the wall. Koga responded with Toxic! Before it even regained its shape, a blast of sludge shot from it, striking Kingler as it moved back to Green's side. Kingler sagged in exhaustion as the poison entered its veins. It wasn't long for this battle. That didn't matter for Green. She had it all figured out. She called for Ice Beam! Muck tried to move out of the way, but part of its form was frozen over. Kingler followed quickly up with a Crab Hammer, shattering the ice. Muck cried out for the first time that battle. Green smirked. She had her win con. She proceeds to freeze parts of Muck and shatter it as Kingler puts his all into it. Muck eventually fell as his form was reduced significantly. Muck has been defeated. Kingler is the winner! After that declaration, Kingler faints, the poison taking its toll on him. Despite it all, Green cheers at his efforts, returning him. Ash's hands tightened as he recalled what he'd seen. It was something he already knew. Green was a prodigy. She might come off dense, but on the battlefield, she was monstrous. She wasn't all just brute force, even if it was her main MO. He'd have to really think on his feet if he was going to beat her. Koga congratulates her on her strategy. Most opponents fall quickly to Muck due to his biology. but she managed to execute a plan to use it against him. Well done. Ah shucks, he was gonna make Green blush. Koga sends out a Venomoth next, while Green sends out Electabuzz. Venomoth started things off with a Razor Wind. Electabuzz dodged, responding with a Thunderbolt. Before it could connect, it stopped midair. To everyone's surprise, Venomoth caught it with Psychic. Koga commands her to send it back. Electabuzz was taken off guard as he was hit by his own Thunderbolt. Green frowned and tried Thunderbolt once more, only for Venomoth to catch it again. Electabuzz managed to dodge this one, though. With Thunderbolts out of the question, Electabuzz was forced to dodge Venomoth's Psybeams. Koga finally commanded a Supersonic. In a skillful display, Green yelled at Electabuzz, "You Screech!" The sound waves met, canceling each other out. As they dissipated, Electabuzz froze as a Disable shot forth and held him in his place. He struggled but was unable to move. Koga ordered a Toxic. Green knew if that hit, Electabuzz was done for. She commanded Electabuzz to use Teleport! Electabuzz vanished before the sludge could hit him. Ash blanched. It could teleport? God, he hated teleportation! Rather than appear on the field, Electabuzz appeared above Venomoth. Green yelled to use Thunder Punch! With its full weight, Electabuzz bore down on Venomoth, sending it into the earth with an electrifying fist. As it collided, Green called for thunder! An explosion of electricity burst forth, filling the room with smoke. When it dissipated, Electabuzz was left standing and Venomoth had fainted. Janine declares Electabuzz the victor. Green wins! Koga returned his teammate and met with Green. He handed over the badge, commending her efforts. Even with the tools of her arsenal removed, she managed to adapt and overcome. He's eager to see how far she'll go in the league, especially as a rookie. Green thanked him. It was all because her monsters were the best. She came over and slapped Ash on the back. Now it was his turn to kick some ass. Ash took his place in the box in silence. His brain was working overtime. Koga was way different than what he'd faced before. Sure, Sabrina had dominated him in Ninetales, but it felt more like his battle with Surge. He just needed to overcome his strategy with one of his own to win. Koga, though, was different. He used sneaky tactics and skills you wouldn't expect. If Green didn't have Ice Beam, would Kingler have been able to scratch Muck? Or if Electabuzz didn't have Teleport, could he have gotten close to Venomoth? Pikachu nudged him, his cheeks sparked with a smirk. Right, he was the best. Koga fought strangely. His team was the definition of strange. He had this. Koga retook his place as Janine signaled them to release their Pokemon. A Weezing appeared on Koga's side while Ash brought out Cubone. It was her first gym battle, but he was confident she could pull out a win. The battle between Red and Gym Leader Koga will now start. Ash didn't even bother correcting her. The battle begins! Ash started things off with a Boomerang! Cubone's bone spun through the air, but Weezing floated out of its reach. Catching it back, Cubone rushed in with a Bone Club, but once again, Weezing was able to dodge. Koga ordered Smog. The room was filled with smoke as toxic fumes poured from Weezing. Ash coughed. He couldn't see anything. Cubone cried out as she was slammed by Weezing. She swung but got nothing but air. Ash didn't think a Weezing would be fighting like this. He had to think of something. Cubone was sent out of the smog with another tackle, landing on Ash's side. It clicked. Ash told Cubone to spin her bone in her hand quickly. Cubone did so, creating enough of a gust to blow the smog away. Impressive, Koga stated. But now what? Ash was trying to figure that out too. Cubone eyed her club and the light bulb went off. With a throw, she sent another Boomerang forward. Instead of going horizontally, she threw it vertically. It spun underneath Weezing before coming back. On the backspin, it came forward, striking Weezing from behind, sending him to the earth. Weezing groaned and tried to get up, but was temporarily stuck in the wood. She was a genius, Ash grinned. Now use Thrash! Instead of acting, Cubone paused. Ash was confused. Thrash? Cubone reached up and removed her eye patch, revealing a functioning eye underneath. She clenched her hands and let out a cry of determination. Everyone watched with various degrees of confusion and disbelief at Cubone's weird display. Except for Green. She was laughing. Red's Pokemon sure were a riot. Ash sweat dropped. Goddamn his team. Couldn't anyone be normal? He told Cubone to just hurry up and beat down Weezing. Weezing was just beginning to rise when Cubone leapt at it with a furious battle cry. She clambered on top of it and began slamming her club into its head. It flew up trying to shake her off, but she kept landing hit after hit. Ash didn't really think removing her eye patch did anything, but if it got her this aggressive, then who was he to comment? Still, with her positioning, Weezing couldn't do anything unless it got her off it. Koga knew that as well. Weezing, self-destruct. Wait, what? The room was engulfed as Weezing exploded. It fell to the ground unconscious. Cubone landed smoking on Ash's side of the field. Oh crap, Cubone! You okay? Janine was about to call for a double knockout, but Cubone groaned weakly, managing to roll to her feet. She was singed and wobbly, but she was still conscious. As Cubone is still standing, it is the winner! Koga is surprised. Not many can withstand a self-destruct. Red's Cubone was tenacious, even with its oddities. Thanks. It isn't exactly the first time she's been blown up. Good on Ninetales, he guessed. Regardless, he returned Cubone, letting her know she did a great job. She wasn't even going to be able to move against whatever Koga sent out, so best not to risk actual injury. Ash told Pikachu to get in there. Pikachu sparked with joy. It had been a minute since he got to beat up a gym leader, and he was more than ready. To Ash's surprise, Koga's next release was something he'd never seen before. A purple bat formed on his field. What was that? Koga smirked. This is Crobat. It is the evolution of Golbat, commonly seen in the Johto region. Ash didn't even know Golbat evolved. Whatever though, this flying bat was about to get the shock of its life. Ash started off with a Thunderbolt. Pikachu sent out a blast of electricity, but to the duo's surprise, Crobat had vanished. It reappeared behind Pikachu and slammed a wing attack into it. Pikachu tried another Thunderbolt, but Crobat was gone before it could strike. Koga states his Crobat's speed is unmatched. Red will have to think hard if he thinks simple attacks are enough to beat him. Ash told Pikachu to use agility. If a speed battle was what Koga wanted, Ash would give it to him. Pikachu and Crobat began a clash of speedy blows that was practically invisible to the spectators. Ash wasn't even sure Pikachu was winning, but he knew this couldn't last forever. What they needed was to keep it from moving. Something clicked. Ash called Pikachu back to his side. He asked if he remembered how Green's Electabuzz had paralyzed Gyarados a while back. Pikachu knew what he was thinking. Can he do it, Ash inquired? Pikachu grinned. As Crobat got ready for another battle speed, Ash told Pikachu to run around and use Thunder Wave. With the speed from agility, Pikachu vanished. But around the room, blue electricity shot all over. Crobat tried to dodge them, but one managed to hit, paralyzing it. Crobat's wings locked up as it fell to the earth. Ash cheered as Pikachu reappeared. Not so tough when it can't move. Koga wouldn't let it end like this. He called for Double Team. Despite it being unable to move, duplicates of it surrounded Pikachu. Now Hyper Beam. A ball of energy formed in each of Crobat's mouths. Koga tells Ash that this is his final test. Can he find the real Crobat before Hyper Beam fires? Ash's mind raced. Ah crap, ah crap, ah crap! How did he figure out which was the real one? He took a breath and refocused. Panicking wasn't gonna win this. He's played these games before. Double Team wasn't like Teleport. Best way to beat a Double Team was Mass Destruction. He tells Pikachu to send Thunderbolts everywhere. Pikachu leapt into the air. Rather than control the bolt, he let the electricity fly. Electricity shot off in all directions, dissipating the clones. Crobat was revealed and the Hyper Beam dissipated upon taking damage. Pikachu finished it off by slamming into it with a quick attack. Ash sagged in relief. God, that was hard. Pikachu agreed. Green slapped his back. Good on you, Red. Way to show off what you can do. Koga came over to his side, Janine landing next to him. He congratulated Red on his victory. Not many can get around Crobat's speed. His Pikachu was impressive. Ash thanked him, accepting the badge. He was mentally exhausted. That was a lot closer than he wanted it to be. Still, he came out on top. Koga says he has to continue preparations for the upcoming tournament. He hopes to see them in it. Green confirms it. She's gonna win that prize Pokemon. Huh? Not if Ash does it first. The duo playfully argued as they exited the gym. Ash thought he'd be able to enjoy his day until a grating sound met his ears. Well, 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 if it isn't Ashy Boy, I didn't think I'd find you down here. Green gave a gasp of joy as Ash groaned. Oh great, Gary. Yay, Blue's here, Green rejoiced. Gary held a hand up before he could be tackled into the earth. Hey, Green, what are you doing palling around with Ashy Boy? Green pouted from her lack of hug. She's here for the tournament, duh. And Red is too. No? You're entering, Gary sneered at Ash. This thing's gonna be easier than I thought. Gary let out a hiss of surprise as Green sprayed him in the face with a spray bottle. No, bad Blue. Be nice. Green, stop! It's getting in my mouth! Ash smirked at the display. Gary better watch out. He's gotten a lot stronger since the SSN. Gary finally got Green to stop spraying him. Ash isn't the only one. He's already got 6 badges. 2 more before he qualifies. And then it's on to beating the league. That got Ash to grit his teeth. Was he the only one who had trouble with Sabrina? Was she just purposely tougher on him than everyone else? God, he hates magicians. And teleporting. And Gary's smug face. Ash could go on. Green stamps her foot down. Both of them are going down because Green is going to win. Both boys eyed each other before setting in on Green. A 3-way argument broke out over who was stronger and who would win. Despite it all, Ash was enjoying himself. He kinda missed this since he'd been traveling. He loved hanging with Brock and Giselle, but nothing beat these stupid fights. Well, stupid because they were wrong and Ash was right. As the trio bickered, the sun began to set. Just another few days and the tournament would finally begin.